let's begin. Let's begin. So tune into your breathing just as it is, and you can start to sway right and left as you focus on your breath. Starting by an awareness, oh, I'm aware of my breathing. I am breathing now. And as you sway, feel the shift in your weight going from side to side, towards the right and towards the left. And knowing that your breathing and my breathing may not completely be in sync, meaning I might inhale towards the right and exhale towards the left, and you may do the opposite, and that's fine. In general, when we're breathing with yoga, upward movements are inhales and downward movements are exhales. Let's try that. Inhale, arms lift up, and exhale, they flow down. Inhale, arms lift, and we've got that upward movement, and exhale, the arms flow down. You've got this. So that's yoga. Breathing and moving is yoga. There are times when we're exhaling to focus and tune into our core. Then we may switch things up a little bit and how we initiate our breath and where we inhale and where we exhale. And we'll talk about that as we get to that point. Just flowing freely, knowing there's no right or wrong. You're inviting a range of motion into your body, starting gently without pushing or trying to move past your range at this moment. And as we begin to move, your range is going to change. Let's go towards the right. That rhymes, range and change. But yeah, it's going to change over the course of the class. Become a little bit more, maybe a little bit wider, a little bit higher as we move through our fluid and static movements. Let's circle the arm around and about, and your gaze may follow. Lifting the right arm, following with the gaze as it circles. And notice how you lift, when you lift your arm, that you may feel sensation in your torso. As I'm lifting now the left arm, I'm feeling the movement. It's all the way down in the torso, not just the arm, as we sway. And bring your hands to the top of the thighs. Let's lean forward, bring the arms forward, and then exhale, we sway back and the arms move back. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. You've got this. You've got this. And let's lift the arms, one or both. If one of your arms is a little sore and you want to lift just one arm at this moment, that's totally cool. I'm going to lower down the right hand and lift up tall through both sides of the body, right? So it's this lifting from the inside. It's not lifting shoulders up. It's lifting from the inside up. Left arm's rising. Let's side bend now towards the right. And you might use your right hand on the outside of your left thigh as a way to clasp it and get just a little bit more motion. Open the arm up, gaze out towards your left, inhale, lift it up once again. Side bend towards your right. At the same time, I'm using my right hand and pushing it into the left thigh. Open it up. One more time. Notice if your arm's feeling a little bit heavier as it's up for a while longer. Push down through both hips and lower the arm down. Now I want to, before we do the other side, I want to talk a little bit more about this lifting from the inside. So a lot of times when we say to students, sit up tall and lift your arm, they go like this and they lift their shoulders up. We really don't try it. Take your shoulders to your ears. It doesn't feel so good. If we walked around like that, it wouldn't feel good at all. So we want to keep the shoulders down, what we call on the back, not compressed down, right? If you take your shoulders, go ahead and bring them down. You're going to feel that's kind of crunchy too. So we want them right about in the middle. Go ahead and take your shoulders to your ears and feel what that's like. Picture yourself walking around like that and you're going to say, nope, not for me. It's crunching the neck and all this stuff right up towards the head. Then if we go too far down, it feels like everything's pulling downward. Now find that middle spot. And you might find it by circling your shoulders up and around and about. Notice how that feels different. Notice how that feels different. Now let's see if we can find that midway point and let's lift the right arm skyward. Maybe the elbow's a little bent. You might use your left hand and place it out on the outside of the right thigh because that's gives us a little bit of leverage, something to push into. And then the side bend is towards our left. Belly's pulling in and up. Breathe in. So we've got all this lengthening from the inside. Open the arm. Gaze at the fingers as they move out to the right. Inhale, lift it up. Side bending towards your left. Now notice if your weight's going too far to the left, push down through your feet. That's going to give you a little bit of an anchor. Open it up. Arm out to the side. Lifting the arm up and over the ear. Ooh. And open it up and release it down. And notice how your body feels now. You probably feel like you're starting to get a little bit more opening through the sides of the body. Push our feet down into the earth. Wake up the feet and wake up the legs. And then release that. So we're pushing our feet down. Our heels are underneath our knees. Notice when you push your feet down that your belly tones and you feel some muscular action in your legs. They're getting energized. And release and let that go. One more time. Push down through your feet. We do this pushing down through a lot of our movements. So one more time where we're isolating it and really focusing down on pushing the feet down. Now push the toe pads down. Push them down like you mean it. Lifting the arch. So what happens is when you push down through the toe pads and you push down through your heel, your arch will lift a little bit. And that's what we want. We're strengthening the bottom of our feet. Let that go. Inhale, lift your heels. Lift your heels and your ankles straight up and down. Don't look at them. No reason to look at them. Exhale, flow the heels back down. Inhale, heels lift up. Take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, lower the heels down. One more time. Heels rise up. Feel pressure down through big toe across to the pinkies and release it. You can either use a tie or you can use your hands behind your thigh. We're going to play with circling the ankles, points and flexing them, and we're going to turn them in and out a little bit. And it's helpful to put a tie on the bottom of your foot, but you don't have to. You could also interlace your fingers underneath I'm interlacing fingers underneath thigh, and we're just going to kind of turn in and turn out. our foot, you also could place it down on the earth to do that. So it's in and out, and in and out. And if you have the strap, you can push against the strap. You don't have to have a strap. I recommend bringing a strap with you for your yoga classes when they're online. You don't have to have a fancy strap. It could be something you have around the house. Even a scarf works, an old belt or tie works. And just feel this going in and going out. So we're turning, as the toes go out, the heel goes in. Then lift the toes and bring it the other way. Now we want the knee and the middle toes to be in alignment. If you were to draw a line, as you keep doing that movement, if you were to draw a line from your middle toes up your kneecap, you want that to be in about the same line when you're doing this movement. Release the leg, let it go. Let's walk in place a little bit. One side and then the other. You might even bring in a little bit of rocking motion as you lift one foot and the other. Now I am seeing a note in the chat. I'll just check it out while you're walking in place. Okay. All right. Walking in place. And let's do the other side. So either interlacing fingers underneath thigh or strap around foot. By the way, your leg may not straighten all the way. We haven't really stretched it yet. So bring the heel in, toes out, and then toes in, heel out. You can even sway the upper body as you do this. Don't feel like you have to be all static and stuck. We're not looking for that. Inhaling and exhaling. You might gaze at your foot and just say hi. Not in a way that's judgmental. And then bring the knee back in and lower the foot back down. Lift the right knee, point the toes down towards the earth, and push down through your left foot. And then let's flex the toes up towards us, point them away, flex them up, and circle the ankle. So it's like you're drawing a circle with your toes, going one way, and then the other. And you can use your hand. If it's feeling kind of stiff, you can use your other hand to help the ankle circle. Certainly do what's best for your body. And then let's release that down. Other side. Lifting now the left knee, hug it towards your body. Point the toes downward. Inhale, lift them up. And point them. As you point them, we're making this arch in our foot, which is really nice for it. And then we flex and we lengthen the bottom of the foot. And you'll probably feel a little bit of sensation in your calf and in the front of your shin as you do this. And then circle around and about. So your hands can be on the front of the shin or behind the thigh, by the way. We're circling one way. Then we are circling the other way. Let's lower it down. And I'm going to turn to the side. I think that's a better view for you. We've got some rhyming going to here with a better view for you. Heels are down. And toes are up towards us. And we're tall. So you're probably feeling when you flex, lengthening through the back of the leg. And maybe some contracting and activation through the front of the leg. Let's point and flex and point and flex and circle. As you breathe in and as you breathe out. Pull the heels back underneath your knees. Let's inhale our arms up towards the sky, and exhale, take your arms back towards either the seat of the chair or the side of the chair, and scoochie your sitting bones towards the front of the chair. Inhale, shoulders up and back, lifting your heart skyward like you have this big burst of sunlight and you're reflecting it up towards the sky. Try not to drop the head or the neck back like that, but keep it long. Now, as you hold on to the side of the chair, it feels kind of good to lean forward and really feel your shoulder blades back here. They're coming together. They're coming together. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, hands to your heart. Turn back this way now. And let's do some hip opening. You can either place your foot on blocks or an ottoman or a chair in front of you, or maybe it's down on the earth. If you've had a hip replacement or something's going on in your hip, you may not lift your leg this high or this high. So know the options that are good for you. Then we're going to lift up tall again through the inside of our body. So we're lifting tall, but our shoulders are relaxed. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice if you're feeling any stretch. If you're not, wherever your foot is, here, 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 wherever you're at, notice if you feel the stretch. If you don't, you're going to hinge from your hip, not your head. So the head stays over and the ears stay over the shoulders, and you could make a line. So the line is shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. The head doesn't do that business. Keep the ears over your shoulders as you lean forward and then stop when you feel a stretch. Let's push down now through the standing leg and rock back up. Let's do it a few times. You're going to rock to the point where you feel a little sensation, but not too much. Rock it forward. Come back up, lifting, exhaling forward. Try not to lead with your head. Try not to lead with your head. Inhale, we lift tall. Exhaling, leaning forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. One more, and then we're going to hold it. What I mean by holding it is not getting stiff, but feel the sensation. If you're feeling too much, back off. If you're not feeling enough, move forward a little bit. If it's just right, stay right there. The Goldilocks principle. The Goldilocks principle works really well in yoga. Shoulders on the back. Breathe in and breathe out. Now to come back up, we're going to push down firmly through our foot, through our toe pads, rise up. Then, if it's accessible to you, take your hand to either your shin or your foot and lift it up a little bit. So it's going to depend on your range of motion. You might be saying to me, what is going on here about lifting this leg up? See where you're at. If you feel any strain in the back, please stop, refrain from it. You might just lift your knee up like this, which is good too. And then let's circle it around. So I'm holding, one of my teachers calls this, it's holding the baby. So if you're holding the baby, you can go ahead and rock your baby right and left. Looks great. Looks great. So it's just right and left rocking your baby. We're not, this is the beginning of taking your foot behind your head. No, just kidding. We won't, that's our peak pose today. You didn't know that, right? You're thinking, oh boy, I'm off now. Mindy's lost it. Side to side. We won't put our foot behind our head today. Maybe next time. And so now let's circle this knee around and about. And just feel as you circle around. And come back to center. Release the leg. Notice how your hip feels. Let's circle around on our hips. Circle around, notice how your core engages. And let's do the other side. So the other side can be completely different. So the foot's either going to be down on the earth without these blocks in the way, or maybe the foot goes on 1 or 2 or 3 blocks. And this, you can see how this starts to open up the hip. Then we lift tall and we lengthen forward. Push down through the standing leg. There's a tendency, if we don't push down through this, you might see this knee going out to the side, and that's not the pose here. So push down through the foot, lengthen from the inside, then start to come forward. When you start to feel sensation, stop. If you don't feel sensation, you can go a little bit more, or maybe you lift your leg a little bit higher. Here we are. Let's rock it forward and back a few times. Notice you're inviting sensation in, and it's just the right amount, not too much. And of course, if you're numb, that's a whole nother story where we have to really use our inner guru to figure out where's the right point, because we certainly don't want to cause any injuries. Then we're going to come back up and we're going to rock our baby. So either the foot is down here and maybe you hold it with your hands. Make sure that your back is okay, because this bone is really heavy, which means this leg is going to be heavy. It's like lifting a weight. We're going to go side to side, and then you might have your hand on the foot and rock your baby right and left. Rock your baby. It's almost like happy baby pose, seated, which we'll make sure that we do on the mat when we get to that point. We're just rocking our baby, and then we'll place it on down. I'm going to move these blocks. They're in the way at the moment. And let's take our feet as wide as is comfortable for you. People say, am I supposed to hurt in yoga? Or there's this misconception that you're supposed to hurt in order for it to feel right. And it's not the case. I'm here to tell you that. So if this is too wide, bring your feet in a little bit. If you're not feeling a stretch in your thighs, you can go a little bit wider. Heels are underneath knees. Toes are making a line. If you drew that line through the center of your kneecap and went down your middle toes, that's where we want to be. Down and through the middle toes. Now, we're going to do a left shoulder towards the right, circle it around and back and rise up. Push your palms down into your thighs, get tall. Keep that length. Right shoulder towards the left. You can even use your right hand and push against the thigh to keep it nice and open. Not so much you're forcing the knee, just a little to feel a little bit of resistance. Thigh pushing into hand, hand into thigh, shoulder up and back. Push down, rise up. We're going to go through the sides alternating. Left shoulder towards right, circle the shoulder up and back and gently press the thigh away. Lift up, push down through your feet. Right shoulder towards the left, circle it up and back, press down, rise up. Now, we're at a diag towards our right, lengthen the left arm towards the right. That's it. Back to neutral, other way. Right arm towards the left, really lengthen it. And here we are. If you have a block, take it, put it in between your thighs. If you have two blocks and you'd like to make a little height, you could do that too. It's like Legos here or something like this. We'll go for a twist. If you don't have a block, again, you could use another chair in front of you. You could use an ottoman or maybe nothing. And I'll show you the difference. So if you have something to push into, take your hand down towards it. Keep this nice long energy without dropping down. That's what I mean. We might not need anything. And then your left hand's going to go to your hip. You're going to open the shoulder, roll it back, keeping this thigh back. Don't let that knee fall in. And maybe lifting the back arm or the upper arm, which is the left arm, skyward. We're in a twist. Beautiful, beautiful. So you could have your hand on the chair like this. You could not touch anything and be like this, but that's going to require, well, we want it anyway. We got to use our core. We're not dumping into the blocks in front of us. Let's come back up and go into cactus. Lengthen the arms. Give yourself a hug, right arm over left. Open it up. We got to do the other side. I'm going to put these blocks back here. Left arm's down, but I'm not sinking down, right? Fingertips are down. Open up the shoulder and then perhaps lift the arms skyward. We've got our twist here. You can lean back a little bit. Notice that this knee, the left knee is coming in, and gently press the foot down and the knee over the toes. Open it up. Maybe you lean back slightly. Feel this nice lengthening. And inhale back up into cactus. Left arm over right. Big hug. Big hug. Yes, that feels really good. Open it up into cactus. Lower the elbows. Tip your fingertips down. Lift them back up. Lengthen your left leg out to the side for side angle. Our heel is underneath our knee on the right side. Forearm to the thigh. And left arm over the ear. Reach, 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 reach. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Press down, rise up. Lower the arms down. Bring the knee back in. Other side. Take your time to get there. This is not a speedy rush. This isn't a relay. You can do that in some of your other classes, but yoga is not a super rush. We want to get situated in our pose. We say that the journey to the pose is just as important as the actual pose. This pose is side angle. If your knee feels funky, bend that knee, bring it on in. Forearm on the thigh on the left side. Pull the belly in and up, so we're not going to dump down. Pull the belly in and up. Push the forearm into the thigh and lift the right arm skyward and over the ear. Yes, the elbow can be bent or lengthening. Reach, 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 reach. Push down through your feet. Feel your feet pushing down into the earth. Push the toe pads down. Feel your belly engaging. Lift up and bring the legs back into our neutral place. Notice how your body is feeling now. Let's do a few cat-cows just to neutralize things out. You don't have to turn to the side. I'm just showing you. Round your spine, lean slightly back, hands on knees or thighs. Inhale, lift heart, shoulder blades come together. Heart lifting, sitting bones moving back. Exhale, we round one way. Inhale, we lift the other way. Exhale, rounding, leaning back. Inhale, lifting, shoulders up and back, sitting bones back. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift, sitting bones up and back, shoulder blades together. And lift back up. Notice how your body feels. Let's do a little bit of neck release. So drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Let's take about 3 or 4 breaths. Breathe in. And breathe out through the nose. Breathe in. And out through the nose. You might notice how your breath is getting a little bit longer as we practice. Lift the head back up. If you feel like your breath is labored, that means maybe you're working a little bit too hard. We sit tall, and then we drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Be right here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, head rises. We're going to do a little bit of eye exercises. You're going to keep your head neutral. Move your vision towards the right. Then move your eyeballs back to center so they're facing forward. Now, without moving your head, move your eyes towards the left. Feel the sensation. Inhale back to center. Make sure you're breathing as we do these movements. Keep the head neutral. Look up. Bring the vision down or towards the earth. Inhale, lift the vision up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the eyeballs down towards the earth. Feel the sensation, come back to neutral. We're going to do something interesting now. You're going to keep your vision where it's at, forward, but turn your head towards the right. And notice how that feels. Then inhale to center. You're going to keep your vision forward and turn your head towards the left. And come back to center. Let's do that again. It feels a little weird, doesn't it? Keep your vision forward, but head towards the right. Inhale to center. I've just got a finger up because sometimes it's helpful to gaze at that finger. Gaze at the finger, but turn the head towards the left and come back to center. Now, we're going to do the opposite. You're going to take your gaze to the right. Well, let's start this way. Gaze over your shoulder. Keep your gaze there, but move your head towards center. You're going to notice that's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher, but it's really important that we work our eye muscles. Let's now we're going to gaze over our left shoulder. Keep your gaze there, but turn your head towards center. Tell me that isn't weird. That's weird, isn't it? All right, it's time to go down to the earth. Bring your blankets and your props. If you have a strap or block, bring it with you. You want to be safe. You only go down to the earth if it feels safe for you to do that. Placing the chair against a wall is highly advisable because it feels more stable to do that. You might have a blanket that you put underneath where you're going to bring your knees down. So just in front of the chair, like so. Then there's many different ways to get down, but you want to feel safe. So you're going to do it the way that's best for you. We take our hands to the chair and maybe lower one knee and then the other, and you'll move the chair out of the way. Now I'm going to move it so you don't have to see it, but you can just push your chair forward or to the side so it's not in your way. And if you're feeling like I'm not going down to the earth, you could stay with us, or you might say, I've had enough of this practice for the day, and that's all good. I've got my blanket here, and we're going to go into cat-cow, do some weight bearing. First, just play with hands under shoulders, and really they're slightly forward, so you don't feel like your table's crunchy, and you can walk your knees back. Then we're going to press down through the finger pads and inhale and lift the finger pads back up. And exhale, push down through the finger pads and inhale, lift them up. Exhale, push down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press the fingertips down. Inhale, lift them up. One more time. Push down through the finger pads. Round your spine, chin to chest, lifting in the cat. And then reverse it. My daughter said to me last night, her spine was hurting, her back was hurting her. She was standing a lot over the week. And so she said, what should I do? I'm like, what to do, Julia? You lived with a yoga teacher, Mom. Cat cows are always so helpful. Whether you're seated or on the mat, do your cat cows whenever your spine feels like it needs a nice neutralizing. So we're going one way and then the other. The spine's not used to doing these type of intentional, mindful movements. Let's let the hips sway towards the right and gaze towards the right hip. And then we're going to let the hips sway to the left and gaze towards the left hip. And back towards the right and towards the left. Rock it forward and back. As you inhale and exhale, find your neutral table, shoulder blades on the back. Extend the right leg back behind you. Toes are down, push out through the heel. Press out through the heel. Nice stretching. Heel pressing back. Rock it forward and back. Then bring the knee back in. Other side. Left heel presses back. Rock it. Lengthen through the back of the calf. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Take your knees back underneath your hips and then wag your tail as you bring your feet towards each other. Just kind of sway the hips right and left as you move back towards a child pose. Just kind of swaying. So the weight is off of your hands. You want to take it off the hands. As the hips move one way and then the other way. Let's move back to center. Come on up. Lower down onto your sitting bones. And let's find some seated poses. So you want to sit on a blanket or a pillow or a block so that you lift your hips and your spine up. And that way your lower back won't round. So if I didn't have this blanket, my spine might look like this. But if we sit up on a blanket, then our spine is going to be a little bit taller. It'll be more comfortable. Some of us need 2 blankets or a pillow in a blanket to lift up a little higher. Bring the feet towards each other in butterfly pose. Feet are about touching. You can make adjustments. You can bring your feet more forward or you can pull them on in. Hands can be on the arches or the ankles. One's not right or wrong. And then let's pull the belly in as we take an exhale. And then on an inhale, grow even taller from the inside out. So we're long. Then we're going to lean forward. We're hinging from our hip rather than our head moving down. Try to keep your head and your ears in line with your shoulders as you rock forward. And then let's lift back up. Take an inhale. Exhale as you rock forward. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Push down, rise up. Let's find a twist. Right hand's going to go towards the left ankle, foot, shin, or even just, you can keep it on the right side. We're going to twist towards our left. You can bring your fingertips down towards the earth, back behind you. They could even be on a block back behind you. If you feel like you're tilting down like this, you can put your fingertips on a block. Some people like it, some don't. Shoulders going to go up and back because it's really a function of the shape of our body and what we need to support us and get long and tall. Not a sign of weakness. We're twisting towards our left. Breathe in. Breathe out. So this is a twisted butterfly. I wonder what the butterflies would think of that. Breathe in. And breathe out. Back to neutral. Other way. Right hand behind us, left on the ankle or the shin. We grow tall. We twist towards our right. You can bend your elbows a little bit. Remembering the neck turns last, so we're not stressing it out. We're not looking to crank necks. Soft breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Return the head to center. With your head in neutral, draw a circle clockwise a few times and then counterclockwise. So looking at the center of your clock, look up to noon, circle the eyes around, back to noon. Do it again, circle down, back to noon, and let's go the other way. Go the other way. Breathe in. And breathe out. Gaze is forward. Extend now your left leg. And make sure your buttocks is still on those pillows. Let's point and flex the foot. It's going to feel different because now our leg is straight. When we were doing this before, our leg wasn't necessarily all the way straight. And if you feel like your knee is locking, you can stick a little washcloth or something underneath your knee so it doesn't lock. So I'll just show this because that's near me. And then we sit tall. So lift from the inside out. Let's lean forward. Only a little bit. Feel. Because I'm only leaning forward a little bit, but I already feel a bigger stretch in the inside of the thigh behind the right leg. Be right here. You could point your foot. You could flex it. If it's too much sensation, put something bigger underneath your knee, maybe even a block. Maybe even a block. This is a little high, but you have pillows at home. You could adjust it so it's not as high, and then lean forward and see what you feel then. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Now you're going to notice as you stay in the stretch that it feels a little different as with each breath. It feels different as time goes by. It feels different if we point it, and it feels different as we flex it. Try to keep the head in line with your spine so it's not dropping forward. Lift it up. Where should we put our head? That is such tough stuff. You can press your sitting bones back towards, away from you towards the back, and then angle them slightly down and you'll feel your belly tone. If you pull your ribs back, you'll feel your belly tone. Walk your hands back towards you. Notice how you feel. And then bring that left knee in towards you. The foot is stepping down. Take your left arm and press it against your thigh, and your thigh against your arm. Grow tall and pretend you're hanging out in this very proud position. I have a teacher who called this by the beach, hanging by the beach. So cool, but he's a beach guy, so he likes to hang at the beach in Greece. You know, one of those fancy yoga teachers that likes to do retreats in Greece. Maybe we should do that. We should all go to Greece. And then let's switch it up. Now we're going to take our right leg long, left knee is bent in. And feel your body be right here. You might not need to do anything. You might not to lean forward. I'm already feeling a stretch without going forward. So you have to ask yourself, is it too much? Not enough? Do you want a little bit more? You wait, you breathe, you notice, you feel. Then you decide, do you want to go forward a little bit more? Maybe you do, and maybe you don't. Sitting bones are reaching back, which that will intensify it. If you press the sitting bones back behind you, that will intensify the stretch without you even leaning forward more. Then you want to tone your belly. So breathe in and breathe out. Push your ribs back or angle your sitting bones down. They'll both do about the same thing, slightly different. Just notice these little tweaks make a difference in our stretches. And then breathe in and breathe out. Start to walk your fingertips back towards you. Let's bend now the right knee and place the foot down. We got to be at the beach in Greece on the other side. Extending the right arm, and you can bend the elbow too. We're by the beach here. Pushing the upper arm into the thigh into the upper arm, and maybe you bring your thumb and index finger together, gazing over the shoulder. You're by the beach. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's bring our feet together and roll down onto our backs. And we will do a little bridge pose, and you might bring a block with you or a strap with you because we will be stretching the back of the legs. So important. When my daughter said my back's hurting me, I said, you know what to do. You do your cat cows, you do a twist, and you stretch the back of your legs. That would be the most important. Let's first do our bridge pose. So walk your shoulders underneath you a little bit. Feet are underneath your knees. They're about hip distance apart. Toes are forward. You don't really need a blanket for this unless your head is tilting back. If your head is tilting back like that, you do need a little bit of a blanket underneath just the top of the head. It's like the upper third of your head. Something like that will help it from tilting back. If not, remove the blanket completely so that you have space in between. Take your hand to the back of your neck, even give it a little massage. Feel the space in between the back of your neck and the earth. Then with your feet down by your arms down by your side, push down to your feet, rise up and walk your shoulders underneath you. Feel your hips tone as you push your toe pads and your feet down into the earth. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Feel your body as you're breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's lower on down. Take a little break. You might even bring your hands to your heart, or I like to bring my hands in prayer at my forehead. It's a nice pause in between back bends, a grounding, centering pause. Lower your arms down. Let's go up again into bridge. Push down through your feet. Press down through the sides of your arm bones. Feel your shoulders. They kind of tuck underneath your heart. Make sure that you don't feel the back of your neck pressing into the earth. There's space there between the back of your neck and the mat. And then feel your hips tone as you push your feet down. Maybe you lift one heel, lower it down, lift the other heel, lower it down, either keep alternating or lift both heels up. Notice as you lift your heels, you might feel your hips tone. Breathe in, breathe out, lower the heels down, press the feet down, exhale, lower your hips to the earth. Bring your knees in towards you. Massage your spine right and left. Let's find happy baby. Hands on the inside or the outside of your feet as you rock your baby right and left. We are in our happy babies like we were doing in the chair. We were doing half happy baby in the chair. And then lower the feet down, take your strap. Let's stretch the leg. Strap around the foot or interlace your fingers underneath your thigh. Press your foot up towards the sky. Press your ribs down, but try to keep a lower back curve. That's hard. So you might tilt your pelvis forward and back until you find center in between pelvis forward and pelvis back. You wouldn't want to be like that. That's my lower back totally rounding. And we wouldn't want to be like that where it's rounding the other way. Try to find neutral. And then you're pushing your foot pad or your toe pads up towards the sky and your heel up towards the sky. Relax your shoulders as your leg straightens. Spread your toes. Pull the strap towards you. Feel the nice stretch. In your mind's eye, you might imagine this bone, this femur bone, as it lowers down into your hip sockets. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take the leg out to the side. As we breathe in and out through the nose. We don't want this hip, the outside hip, the left hip. When we're taking the leg to the right, we don't want that hip to lift up. Try to keep it down. Even if that means the leg comes up a little higher, that's okay. Inhale, the leg lifts up. Bend the knee in towards you, give it a hug. Maybe you take your hands to the shin or the ankle and pull the knee down towards your shoulder. Footprint is up towards the sky. That's it. This is half happy baby. And then if you're feeling a sensation, keep it there. Maybe you stir the pot a little bit by circling the leg, or you might lengthen the bottom leg if you want a little bit more of a stretch. So I'm pulling the knee down as I press the bottom leg away, but your knee may be here or your footprint is down. And either of these options is awesome. Let's bring both feet down to the earth. And we'll do the other side. I'm just going to switch so you can see my leg. This is one of my favorite stretches. It's so important. It feels so good for our back and the back of our legs. So our spine likes it, and our leg likes it, our whole body likes it. So strap around bottom of foot, press the footprint up towards the sky and feel the stretch. Now, that doesn't mean your leg straightens all the way. Notice where you feel sensation. Try to relax your shoulders downward and pull your ribs down towards the earth. If you feel you need a blanket under your head because your head is tilting back, then take a pause, put the blanket underneath your head. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out. Notice any tension in the jaw and try to release it with your exhale. Each time you take a breath, we're trying to release tension. Let's open up the leg out to the side, keeping the right hip down now. So the left leg is out to the side. Push the heel away from you. Don't let this leg fall all the way down if this hip is lifting on the other side. So push your right hip down as your left leg goes out to the side. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. You can always straighten this bottom leg, but it's not the priority. It's only if you feel the range of motion. I shouldn't say always. It really depends on your body. Lift the leg back up. Let's find our happy baby or half happy baby. Bend the knee in towards you. Use your hands around the ankle or the shin to pull the knee in. You might draw some circles. It's not a must. Just if you're feeling like that loosens you up a little bit more, then go for it. If not, let's pull the knee gently down towards the left shoulder for our half happy baby. And you're going to feel a stretch in the inside of the thigh or the bottom behind you. And then if you don't, go ahead and lengthen this right leg, the bottom leg down, and then notice what you feel. Feel the sensation. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Bring both knees in towards you. Roll right and left on your spine and circle your knees around and massage your back. Give it a good massage. And then lower your knees and decide what you'd like for your resting pose. Your resting pose could start with lying down butterfly with blocks underneath your knees or pillows. It could be feet up on a chair or up the wall. I'm just showing if you wanted to start with this lying down butterfly, be a block underneath each knee so that your knees are relaxing and your inner thighs and groins are relaxing. And then your hands are on your belly or down by your side. You can stay like this or lengthen your legs. You can switch it up because resting poses are so important that you might spend a little bit more time and do a few poses like this. Wherever you choose, let your head rock right and left. Just very gentle and slow. Feel the movement and weight of your head as you shift one way and then the other. Move the nose back to center and rest in your shavasana, your pose, whatever it may be. Lying down butterfly, feet up on the chair. You choose what's a resting pose for you. Allow the breath to settle down. without trying to change it in any way. Let it be. And then travel through your body like you're painting with your breath. And you're smoothing it out and allowing any of the tension that's remaining to trickle down and out and away from you. Your eyes, lids may be softly closed. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Feel the feet relaxing. The lower legs relaxing. The upper legs. Spine. Your internal organs. Your digestive organs, your reproductive organs, your respiratory organs, your circulatory organs, all relaxing. Shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands, fingers, neck, spine, and head. Whole body relaxing. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And stay as long as you want in your resting pose. It's your Friday. Hopefully there's no sense of urgency. But even if there is, making a commitment to bring awareness throughout your day. And how do you feel now? How's my breath? And how are sensations in my body? How's my emotional body, my physical body? In yoga, we call it our wisdom body, our bliss body. You may bring your palms in front of your heart as we conclude our time together. Otherwise, I'm always here for questions afterwards. Gazing in towards your heart. Sensing the light within you. Breathe into that light and expel it out into the universe. We say namaste. It's so great to be with all of you. I hope